One of my favourite bands is Wren Collective, a group from Northern Ireland that brings us the likes of My Lighthouse and True North. Earlier in the year, right at the start of lockdown, they released an album entitled Choose to Worship. Here are the lyrics of the title track. I will praise you through the fire, through the storm and through the flood. There is nothing that could ever steal my song. In the valley, you are worthy. You are good when life is not. You will always and forever be my song. When the enemy says I'm done, I lift my praises. When my world comes crashing down, I lift my praises high. Till the darkness turns to dawn, I lift my praises. I choose to worship. I choose you now. I love this song because of its defiance. Choosing to worship God when life is difficult and when darkness surrounds us. It's not easy, and yet throughout the centuries there's always been a faithful remnant, a small group of people who've worshipped God regardless of their circumstances or situation. In Isaiah 9 we hear of the people walking in deep darkness. During the exile and even in the years running up to it, life was incredibly difficult for Judah and for Israel, for the people of God. Their rebellion against God resulted in them being taken captive and stripped of everything that was really important to them, carted off into a foreign land, separated from their homes, their families in some cases, and their temple. It was a dark moment in their history. And yet we know from the stories of Esther and Daniel that there were those who continued to worship throughout the crisis, who held on to God. A faithful few who were steadfast in their praise. Like the men in the fiery furnace. They said, God is able to deliver us, but even if he doesn't, we're not going to worship anyone else. So many of us have found our sleep disrupted this year, whether in terms of vivid dreams or nightmares, whether in terms of just having too much in our heads to be able to get to sleep, or whether in terms of waking up in the middle of the night in the darkness. And in truth, about now, there's a lot more darkness because of the time of year. The darkness of night can be a very trying place, a place where thoughts gather and where things can seem much worse than they are. But in the Psalms, we discover that there is always a choice of worshipping God even through the night. The psalmist said, God gives him songs in the night. What if we followed suit? And as in the lyric of the song, say, till the darkness turns to dawn, I lift my praises. I choose to worship. There's another song on this particular album entitled Your Name is Power, and it has these words in it. Your name is power over darkness, freedom for the captive, mercy for the broken and the hopeless. Your name is faithful in the battle, glory in the struggle, mighty, it won't let us down or fail us. When you speak, you scatter darkness, light arrives and heaven opens. Holy Spirit, let us hear it. That is the truth of Isaiah 9. The people had held on in the darkness and then light arrived. As I record this, the dawn is beginning to emerge. And that is going to be true for us, whatever our situation, whatever we're struggling with this season. Jesus has the power to scatter our darkness and bring light. When you switch on your Christmas lights today, or light a candle, or simply flick a light switch, think of him and the power that he has in your life.